All right, the big news, Rob Parker, is baseball. A lot of news going around, but baseball, Gerrit Cole, of course, the star pitcher for the Houston Astros the last few years, signs a 9-year, $324 million deal with the Yankees. It's like the Yankees tried, Rob, for a few years to go about it, like a lot of other teams, develop guys. I mean, they still went out and got Giancarlo Stanton, guys like that. But,
right, but that was a trade, remember. I agree with you.
Right. They tried that route, but this is how the Yankees win. We buy our championships.
No, that's not true. Don't say that.
It is true.
It ain't true.
It is true.
Now, me and you going to argue about that.
Check this out.
Gerrit?
How many times have they, when they've won it recently, the last 20, 25 years, how many times did they have the largest payroll or second largest? I'm sure it was just about every time. But I'm not ripping them. They're playing by the rules. I'm just saying that's what they do.
No, but
now they're going out and trying to buy another one.
But this is
the only Yankee way.
This is my only thing that I'll push back on that. When you talk about those teams with Derek Jeter and those guys, and they won all those championships, they paid their guys. All those guys came up through their farm system. So they paid Jeter, they paid Mariano, they paid Pettit, they paid Bernie Williams. These are Jorge Posada. These were all their guys, Chris. So I agree that their payroll was high.
Right.
But those were their guys. Is all I'm saying.
Right.
I know what you're saying. The last couple of years, they have not been in the free agent market big, and they've pulled back, and they haven't done it. And this year, you know what? There was a stud guy available. Gerrit Cole is a stud. You put him at the top of your rotation, Chris, and you know what? You're in the mix for a championship. I don't think anybody. Am I right?
They've been in the mix.
No,
they've
but I
had
mean
the hitting. Now they needed the pitching.
But
they added it. They're not only in the mix, Rob. They're the favorites.
No doubt about it.
There's no question they're the favorites. And if they don't win it, now I get it. It's baseball. And you never know with baseball.
A lot of stuff can happen.
However, if they don't win the championship, it's kind of always like this with the Yankees. You and I know that being in New York a lot of years.
Yep.
But it's championship or bust for real now.
No doubt about it.
If they stay healthy and don't win it all, it is going to be a nightmare in New York.
Remember that last year with all the injuries, what did they win? 103 games?
Yeah.
They won 103 games. Did you remember the pitching staff, the injuries?
It don't matter.
Remember.
It's irrelevant.
Louis Severino.
I'm not celebrating that.
What happened?
You wouldn't celebrate it.
Louis Severino, right?
Yeah, right.
He was their ace. I'm just saying, he was their ace a year ago. He was hurt almost the whole year.
Right.
I'm just saying, and they won 103.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. New York, that's why they went out and got Gerrit Cole, because it doesn't matter. We won 103, but we went out in the playoffs.
I get it. They want to win. The Yankees haven't won since 2009. People in the Bronx are not feeling it, so here's the time.
Led by A-Rod.
Yeah. Is he not feeling it?
That's what I mean, bought the championship.
Oh.
And I'm not ripping them. They're playing by the rules. So you can't rip them, but that's what they do. And how do you like the deal? Look, Gerrit Cole, as you said, he is a stud. He's a great pitcher. Was clearly the best pitcher on the market. I really like Strasburg, and Strasburg obviously was a machine in the playoffs.
But the only difference
Cole is very good.
Cole is 22 months younger and doesn't have an injury history that Strasburg has. So,
right.
I'm just saying, if you're going to give somebody more years or feel more confident about it, it would be the guy who hasn't been hurt. And right. Strasburg's bounced back, but you notice, Chris, he's been hurt most of his career.
No question. I mean, the 7 years, 245 is a little bit of a risk for his injury history.
It is.
But I like him. I mean, like I said, he was great this past postseason. Look, Gerrit Cole, I have no problem with him being the highest paid pitcher in the league. I think, the way things work, he should be. $36 million a year, that's the most ever for a pitcher, or for a player, right? For a player, period, per year. But here's the only, and I don't want to say it's a negative, it's a good thing, because they could get a couple championships out of this, assuming he stays healthy and stays, a top flight player, which isn't guaranteed.
No, that's never
Because we
guaranteed.
see so many guys
struggle.
fall off. If you had gotten Madison Bumgarner a few years ago, you would have thought, we're set. I mean, that dude was awesome.
You know what? I interviewed Barry Zito. Remember he signed a big contract with Oakland, and he talked about it on my podcast, Inside the Parker, which dropped today, Chris, and he talked about his mind got screwed up from the whole idea of trying to live up to the money.
Bumgarner?
No. Barry Zito.
Zito. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like it affected him. He said he was like, am I worth this? He couldn't believe like how much money they were paying him and thinking that he had to win every day. Like that's what he thought.
Right.
And it actually messed him up.
How do you and put that in New York?
No, we know
it becomes even more magnified.
You got back pages in New York, unlike a lot of places where people live, right? You don't have a back page.
Do you have any question or concern about Cole handling the big stage, even if it's the pressure of the contract or whatever?
No, I don't. I like the way this guy's operated. I know Houston is not he played in Pittsburgh and Houston. That's not New York, but I like what he's made of from what I've seen. And here's the other part, Chris, which I think is a neat story, one that you could sell. This guy was a Yankee fan growing up. He's from Southern California, Orange County, Angels territory, right?
Right.
Grew up a Yankees fan, and I don't know if people saw. Go on social media, look around. There's a picture of him as an 11-year-old kid at the Yankees World Series in 2001 against the Diamondbacks, and he has a sign. And what does it say? Yankees
fan now and forever, something to that effect.
Today, tomorrow, and forever.
Right.
And then you get to go to the Yankees and sign this contract. Can you imagine what kind of high he must be on? That's a great story.
It's cute. It's cute. I mean, you act like it doesn't happen. I mean, you get players that grew up Lakers fans playing for the Lakers.
I'm just saying,
it happens.
Do they have a sign at the game? That they caught that
cute.
when he was 11 years old. That's
cute.
all I'm saying.
It's real cute. Where's the if I'm writing, I'm ripping Rob Parker? What is this?
I'm a woman.
You got some flowers in your hand, too? I mean, my goodness, what's going on?
You want me to rip this? I'm not ripping it.
I'm not going to rip it either again. I think the Yankees went and got the guy they needed to get and the guy they were supposed to get.
Yep.
I also think they overpaid.
I don't think they overpaid. I think that's what the market.
No, that's not what the market.
Yes, it is. Yes,
no,
it
it's
is.
not.
For a guy,
he got $80 million more than the guy who set the record for pitchers.
Yes, but there's a difference between him and the other guy. I just
22 months. I get it. Stop it.
And the injury factor. This guy has a clean bill of health. That's why he was going to get more.
I understand him getting more.
That's a big part.
I think you could have got him for. I mean, there was reports that the Dodgers and the Angels were
offered him
$300,
but he got $324.
Did they or they were going to? And I also think, look.
But the difference is the year, right? Because the Yankees went for 9 years.
These long-term deals never work out in baseball.
Yes, they do. All you got to do is win one championship. That's all.
Says who?
Me.
So I got 8 years of losing for one championship?
That doesn't mean when you say
the Yankees got one in 2009. Does that how's that feel right now?
No, that felt good because that's when they signed Teixeira and CC Sabathia. That was the team, and they were competitive for a long time, Chris. It's not. I get it. It's about trying to win, but it's a business. You're trying to entice fans to want to buy season tickets. If you were lukewarm or mad about
this, on 7 years.
You know that for sure. Scott Boras is his agent. I'm not so sure of that.
He wanted to be a Yankee. What happened to your little romantic story?
It was, but he'll be a Yankee for one more year.
If he wanted to be a Yankee, he would have come.
There's no hometown discounts in New York. You know that.
No, but he's a Yankee fan.
If you don't look right, they'll rob you blind.
Today, tomorrow, and forever.
But the back on that poster
that's
said.
My only thing.
But the back on the poster said, but it comes at top dollar. You didn't see the second side.
I
of the
didn't
side.
see that part. Look again. They got the guy they needed to get. I just think they overpay, and I just wonder. I mean, in 4 years, what's he gonna look like? Now, maybe he'll look great, but there's been so many just guys that have fallen off the map, even at younger than he is, 29. So, I mean, Bryce Harper, 13 years. Obviously, the first year didn't go too well. Manny Machado, 10 years. A-Rod, 10 years. Pujols. That contract is killing the Angels. Robinson Cano, 10 years. Prince Fielder. I mean, you could go on and on down the line. I get it. I don't like the baseball structure anyway, because by the time these guys have played a long time before they're really eligible for the huge payday. So I get that, you want to pay them more, even, to make up for those years. But this contract is going to become an albatross later on down the line.
You can't tell. Fans don't want to hear that. If they win a championship or two, they'll be fine. They don't care about the other years.
If it's that easy, a championship or two. All right. I got it. You got 2 championships.
I got the winning, yes, 2 championships with Gerrit Cole. Absolutely.
Cole. All right. Did the Yankees overpay for Gerrit Cole? 877-99 on Fox.
All right, let's kick it off with Keith in Peoria, Illinois. You're on The Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. What you got, Keith?
How we doing, fellas? Hey.
Doing great.
First of all, hey, Chris, I love to talk to you, buddy. You usually on the right page, but this time I'm going to have to stick with Rob. No how, no way. You have to spend the money. If you're going to be a winner, I'm a Cub fan and a Miller Lite genuine draft fan. But you have to spend the money if you're going to get the crown. You have to do it that way. Otherwise, you're just going to be stuck in a hole. You have to do it. So I'm sorry. I have to agree with my buddy. You sound like Colin Cowherd when he's hating all the time on Baker Mayfield. Get out of here with that stuff, Chrissy. You know what you have to do in order to win a ring. Spend some money.
There you go.
They got the right man. Why not go 305, 310 over 8 years?
Whatever it takes.
I mean, look, in the grand scheme, it's not going to be that much difference, obviously, between 10, 14 million.
Keith.
But these contracts, man, these long-term baseball contracts typically become albatrosses for the teams. But
what a difference from last year.
You got to get some rings.
Do you remember the owners were holding firm last year, Chris? And
well, they ended up paying.
No, they did, but I'm saying, but this year they're not even playing.
Right.
Like there were some big-time pitchers available, and they jumped on them. All right, Aaron in Maryland, you're on The Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Aaron?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
What's happening?
2 times in a row, I'm calling and having to agree with Rob. What's going on, man?
Things are changing.
Look, I said Cole, he's a great pitcher. You had to go get him. I'm just saying that contract's going to be hurting him in a few years.
I agree on that. 9 years, a long time. I mean, I'm a Yankee fan, so I love Gerrit Cole. We get a couple championships out of it. I think it'll be worth it. But earlier you said the Yanks, they like to buy their championships, and I don't know. I disagree because the core is always homegrown, and even now, back in the day with Jeter, Posada, Pettit, all those guys.
Oh, I brought that up to him. Hey, Aaron, thanks for the call. I brought that up to Chris,
but they still had a payroll through the roof.
No, because they kept their own players.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I remember I was around that team too. Yeah.
You were around that. Those were all guys from the minor leagues.
You had a few guys, Knobloch and Martinez, and
that they signed, no doubt about it. Michael in Texas, you're on The Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. What you got, Michael?
Hey, fellas, I hope you guys bet a pair of Jordans on this. 2 championships in 9 years.
We didn't bet.
So we didn't.
He's agreeing with me, Michael.
So you think they'll get the 2 in 9?
No. Follow me on this.
My question is, what is Cole? Is he going to be a top flight pitcher in 4 years? Because if not, then you got 5 years left of who knows what.
In the 1990s, the Cowboys and 49ers met in 4 NFC championships in a row. The Cowboys won the first 2. Then the 49ers added prime time and tipped the scales. Then the next year, the Cowboys said, hell no, we're going to take prime time from you so we can tip the scales back. I kind of feel it doesn't matter what you pay for him. You got to get him to tip the scales back to the Yankees over the Astros. Thanks, fellas.
All right. Let's see what happens. I mean, he was the guy. He was the man. You had to go get him. Let's see if it pays off. Yep, that's all the brother's saying.
They didn't disappoint. Mark in Sacramento, you're on The Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio.
This one's real easy, and hell must be freezing over because I'm getting ready to agree with Rob.
Be worried, Mark. Be very worried.
But this one's easy. First of all, I live long enough to see the Steinbrenners take Reggie Jackson through Alex Rodriguez, and they've always had money to spend. Why? They have the Yes Network. They're the biggest market. They got money to spend. And here's one for you, Chris. It's the only major sport in this league in this country. It doesn't have a salary cap. They'll keep spending. They'll keep spending. You guys have a good one.
All right. Appreciate it. Thanks, Mark.
Mark was riled up.
He was worked up. Can we squeeze one more in? Are we good? Okay, we're good.
All right. He is a World Series champion. He is an MLB analyst for Sportsnet LA.
Champion
right
for
here
what
in Los
team?
Angeles.
The Yankees. He won a championship with the Yankees.
Yes. And he has a bone to pick with moi. Jerry Hairston Jr. Welcome to the Odd Couple, buddy. How are you?
What's going on, guys? I'm doing well. How you guys doing?
We're
great.
good. Now, Jerry, this is my thing. Look, I get that Gerrit Cole was the man on the market. You got to go get him. I'm with that, and I think the Yankees did the right thing. I just think they overpaid a little. I know they had to go high because the Dodgers had 8 years, $300 for him. But I just think maybe you could have kept it 8 years. I think this is a long deal that maybe for the second half of it they could be regretting. Tell me where I'm wrong.
I don't think they care. If they figure out a way, especially with that lineup, to win 2 or 3 championships in probably a 5 or 6, 7 year span, when he's 29 now, when he's 34, 35, they'll live with it. You guys, we're talking about the Yankees, man. You think they're crying over a few dollars?
Right.
Listen,
No.
If a team is willing to give a player $325 million, you best believe they're making billions on the other end. These guys are smart businessmen, okay? So they realize, you put a Gerrit Cole, he's not a number 2, he's not number 3, he is a bona fide ace in his prime, and he's getting better. So, the Yankees ain't about getting to the World Series, it's about winning the World Series, and you gotta, with that lineup, now you put him at the top in the rotation, and you slide everybody down. Without question, they are the team to beat right now in 2020.
No doubt about it. You spot on, Jerry. What about the money? The owners last year were kind of playing a little game. They waited to sign free agents, and this year totally different. Not playing around. Guys have come with their checkbooks. What's been the turnaround, and why do you think? Is it just because it's pitching available, or what's happened?
I think the money has always been there, but I think the landscape has changed this year because I think there's a lot of teams out there that really feel they have a legitimate chance to win a World Series. Look what happened last year with the Nationals.
Right.
They get in they have a pretty good second half, and they get in as a wild card team, and they run the table. So if you look at the landscape of Major League Baseball,
that's a great
just about every team has a legit chance to win. If you build your roster, you have a legit chance to win. So that's why I think you see guys really going for it.
Jerry, how big of a blow is this to the Dodgers? We mentioned they offered 8 years, $300 million, according to reports. How big of a blow is it that they didn't get him?
Well, it definitely hurts. No question about it. It hurts. They're looking for an ace. Obviously Clayton Kershaw now is starting to reach the second half of his career. He's a strong number 2 starter. Walker Buehler, can he make that next step? Can he be that ace? But I think, the Nationals proved you need 2 aces.
Yes.
To win. So, I know that the Dodgers are always looking for that number 1 starter to go along with Walker Buehler. I think they're going to try to do it possibly via trade and maybe explore other options. But it definitely hurts. You want to make sure you give yourself the best possible chance to win. But at the end of the day, the Yankees were willing to go 9 years and get that guy who's a beast.
Here's my thing with the Dodgers, and tell me if I'm off base. But has the window closed, or is it closing? I mean, they've had an unbelievable run. They've won the division, 7 years in a row, Jerry? They went to the World Series 2 years in a row until last year they got knocked out by the Nationals. But you can't expect to keep going every year and winning the division every year, can you?
Here's the deal. You know what? That is a great point, but you got to realize the Dodgers have done an incredible job building their farm system. You got guys on that roster that haven't entered their prime yet. Cody Bellinger, Corey Seager, Kike Hernandez is starting to enter his prime. You have so many guys. Gavin Lux is a stud, and he was a rookie last year.
Right.
You have so many guys on that roster. And remember this, guys. I know we wanted Gerrit Cole. I know we want that bona fide ace, but if you give our young guys an opportunity, I think Dustin May can be that guy. He has that type of stuff. He's got that type of moxie. And I think he can get, given that opportunity, he could possibly be that Walker Buehler like Walker was 2 years ago for us. Julio Urias, this young man has been through a lot. The velocity was there last year, and I think that was the biggest key for him, knowing that, you know what, I can still throw 95, 96 miles an hour and use 2 or 3 of my pitches. I think given an opportunity, he can be that guy. So, listen, I'm going to be on our young guys. I'm going to tell them, hey, you see the news about Gerrit Cole. You hear about the Dodgers trying to trade for other pitching studs. But you have an opportunity to be that guy on one of the best franchises in all of sports. Do not waste an opportunity. Make no mistake, the Dodgers have tremendous talent that can step up and be those type of dudes. And hopefully Urias, hopefully Dustin May, Gosling, if they're given that opportunity, Gavin Lux, Will Smith, these guys have tremendous talent. They can step up and really be those studs, not only in our lineup, but in our rotation.
Jerry Hairston Jr., Sportsnet LA analyst, joining the I Couple. Jerry, what about the Angels? Now, a lot of people thought, because Cole is from that area, that they really had the inside track on getting him. What's your outlook for them going forward?
I think they have to do a couple things. I think they need to get another stud hitter in that lineup, maybe from the right-hand side. I know they're looking at Rendon to kind of help Mike Trout and Albert Pujols, and they need pitching, man. They desperately, not just one guy, I think they need multiple guys.
Should they have gone, you think they should have done whatever it took to get Cole?
I think that's what they were trying to do. But I think in the end, they knew
they couldn't
go
as high as the Yankees. Yeah.
They weren't going to go as high as the Yankees. So I think they're going to try to use that money to get maybe 3 or 4 other pieces. You don't sign Mike Trout to all that money and not get him some help.
Exactly. It would make no sense.
Too good. It would make no sense. And I know Mr. Moreno is doing all he can to better that team. Mike Trout is in his prime years now, and you don't want to waste him.
No doubt about it. Jerry, the other thing I want to get your take on is the Astros. How severe should baseball come down? We know they're not going to take the championship away. But, Jerry, this was organizational. This wasn't one guy or somebody and the other players didn't know about it or people didn't know what was going on. I'm looking at thinking the general manager, the manager, everybody who was involved, they should be really probably banned or suspended, or there's got to be some harsh penalty for an organization to out and out cheat. You played in the major leagues. Can you ever remember this? I can't.
I can't remember. Listen, there's one thing to relay signs. If a catcher's putting down signs and there's a runner at second base and he's able to pick up those signs, and relay to the hitter, that's okay. But when you're using technology and you're relaying the signs through the dugout, various, the trash can incident,
right,
whatever, if that proves to be true, if all these allegations mean they used technology to be able to gain an edge, I think the Astros are going to get crushed. I really believe they're going to be suspended for X amount of games, heavy fine. And you know how you hurt a franchise? Draft picks.
Yep.
Take away their first-round draft picks, their second-round draft picks for a number of years to really make an example out of that franchise. Because I think in order to make everybody know that, hey, we're not going to tolerate this, these guys need to be made an example of. Now, again, that's if it's proved to be true. So, I know Major League Baseball is going through their investigation process right now. If it proves to be true, all these stuff that they've been saying, then I think they're going to get hit hard.
And
Jerry, a lot of reporters are saying that they think this stuff, this goes on throughout the league, that it's not just the Astros. We saw the Red Sox get nailed a few years ago for something similar.
They had like an iPhone or something on the bench, but this is different.
Do you think that it is that prevalent in other places around the league? Maybe not to the extent of the Astros, but that technology is definitely being used to cheat in other organizations?
Listen, I don't know. I've been removed from the big leagues now 6 years, but I know as a player when I played, you always try to gain an edge on the field. You know what I'm saying? You always try, hey, if these guys are going to give us the signs
right.
Blatantly, we're going to take advantage of that. But that's okay. But I've never been, and I played for 9 different franchises, I've never used or I've never been a part of teams that use video to relay signs. That has never happened, and that's the first time I've ever heard of it.
I'm with you, Jerry. I think they got to get the book thrown at them, and they have to send a message to all the other teams. You can't mess with the integrity of the game. Once you do that, you don't have a sport.
Right.
You have pro wrestling.
Absolutely.
All right, Jerry, great stuff, man. We appreciate it.
Happy
Thanks
holidays, Jerry.
Yep.
Hey, appreciate it, guys. Anytime, and hey, next time we'll talk some basketball too. The Lakers are rolling right now.
We want you to come in the studio.
I got the Lakers. Rob's got the Clippers. Who's your pick? The Lakers?
Oh, man. You're going to make me – tell you what, I'll come in the studio and we can discuss it.
Yes.
It's a lot to dissect.
I want us to do that. Jerry, you'll come in and we'll do a basketball hour with you. All right?
I would love to do that.
All right, bud.
All right, Jerry, thanks.